Pritchard probing, creating for Mathis. And Anthony Mathis.
He's not just wasn't just my teammate or friend growing up. I hear all the time, oh, lifelong friends. No, I don't think people understand, it was we lived together every day. He was permanent in our house, so it wasn't just a friendship. It was brothers. We fought like brothers, loved like brothers.
The bond of brotherhood between Oregon's Payton Pritchard and Anthony Mathis, of course, started on a basketball court back in elementary school. But they were playing each other.
We were about second grade, and their team just killed us by 30. And I remember at halftime, I was just bawling my eyes out because we were losing so bad. And my mom's like, you need to stop. You need to get your act together. And then after that game, his dad asked me to come play with their AAU team, and that's how I started playing for Fast.
But towards the end of middle school, a job offer in Wyoming for Mathis's mom presented a fork in the road for young Anthony.
She just sat me down and she's like, so we're going to Gillette. You can either stay here with the Pritchards or you can come where it's probably not going to be great basketball.
And it was just kind of a better opportunity for him for schooling and sports to move with us. And he was already with us.
The Pritchards obviously were there for me so much. And they gave me my own room and all that.
My parents ended up being his legal guardians over that time. And, he just moved in fully.
Now living like brothers, they, along with the Pritchard parents, had to get used to what it means to have brothers in the house.
What was home life like with him there? Also, what'd you fight over?
I mean, we fought like any other brothers, over video games.
I can't remember if it was me beating him or his dad.
I mean, when you're growing up, you just fight for no reason at times. And
his mom comes in and unplugs it, and I'm like, do you need help moving something? And she's like, no, I'm fine. She takes it out, unplugs it, gets it over here and throws it on the ground.
My mom broke the Xbox.
She grabs a hammer and just starts smashing it.
And, yeah, so it was just like that.
So we had an Xbox for a month, and then Christmas came.
Funny stories aside, both Pritchard and Mathis found their way in basketball, winning 3 straight titles at West Linn.
There was no other drama. There's no stats involved. It was just playing for the fun of it and just with your boys.
Of course, they stayed in close contact throughout their college careers, and when Payton returned to Oregon for one last season, Anthony, with an extra year of eligibility, knew what to do.
We knew that he was going to get an extra year, kind of advance. We knew it was in the works, and then when we found out it was, it changed things.
If it can happen, I'm making it happen. I'm not even going to take any visits anywhere. I'm just going to come here and we're going to get to work.
So the brothers put on those Oregon jerseys, and the bond became abundantly clear to anybody watching them play.
I think part of brothers is you'll never, when somebody's off or on and emotionally.
I know that from just from looking at him, and I'm sure he can see the same thing in me.
Anthony was second in the Pac-12 in three-point percentage and now holds the Matthew Knight Arena record for most three-pointers made in a game. Payton was named the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year and the first AP All-American in program history.
When it comes to brothers, you want the best for your brother. You want him to be so successful and his dreams come true. So I think that's what helped us the most.
It's just funny because sometimes I'm like, it's super cool to see, and I just start thinking about all the times we were in the gym together in high school, middle school, everything. So it's super cool to see.
Their final game in their home state and what would be the final game of their college careers ended like their time in West Linn did, cutting down nets and being named champions. Brothers then, brothers now, brothers always.
I think it's funny because I don't really know the history. I mean, they think they do, but they really don't. We're not really friends, honestly. We're more than brothers for sure.
We know it's the end for us playing together, unless something crazy happens at the next level. But this has been one heck of a ride, and we'll always remember. And that our kids they'll know about, and all of West Linn.
The crazy thing about that last quote was at the time that I asked Payton that question, there was still a lot of games we thought to be played. And hearing it back now after that was the last game of the season for them, it's amazing that they did have a storybook ending. Also, a shout out to Mama Pritchard. My mom also broke my gaming console when I was in middle school. It's maybe a different time nowadays, but back then it was just your mom caring about you and not wanting you to be addicted to video games.